November Park Board meeting to order. Deb, you want to do the roll call?
Pam Brokaw. Here. Karen Nesset.
Here.
Anthony Liberto.
Here.
Michael Kennedy.
Here.
Pat Casanova.
Here. And we have no comments from anything, so we'll hop right into, everybody had a chance to look at the minutes
Yes.
that were in part of the packet. Any changes, corrections, or omissions that anybody caught?
No.
Move to approve. Second.
Seconded to approve them. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Now we can move into new business, and our item A is the Atwood Park that
Yep.
is coming together and finishing up there.
Yeah, so in the Bella Rose development, next to the new Quick Trip on the north side of town, there was a park that was dedicated to the city. We have since constructed a playground in there, a shelter, and it needs to be officially named. So I did contact the developer, and then kind of what I was thinking, obviously this is open for discussion, but the development was purchased and bought from the Atwood family.
Yep.
The Atwood family farm. It's been there for a very, 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 very long time, I would assume.
Was there when I was a little kid.
Yeah, so it's kind of just to pay homage to the family, kind of their contribution and kind of to the city and kind of what they stood for. I did reach out to Bob Atwood,
Yeah.
and he was all for it. He's like, that'd be awesome if the park would be named that. And so I'm recommending that we name the park in the Belrose development Atwood Park. If you all think that's good, obviously you can vote it through, and then it would go on a resolution to city council. If you want to explore other options, I'm open to that as well. So open for discussion.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Anybody have any further questions?
You said this is the one by Quick Trip
Yeah.
on Sophia Lane?
Yep. Correct. Yep. You got it.
Yep. And that entire quarter section was the Atwood Farm, and then back behind it, in part of what Hans Hagen built on Stone Pine House, part of their old farm. Yeah. And that was the last parcel out there developed.
Correct.
They held on to it as a farm, as crop ground until the very end.
Yeah.
You know, she always wanted to be able to look out her kitchen window when she was doing the dishes and see the cornfield and everything, and so.
No, I think it's a good
great
tradition. I think that's a good, we do have a handful of parks in the city that are named after people that had the land, may or may not have donated it, but made it available to the city. I think that's a neat way to remember our past history, so
Great.
that's a good calling.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. So that's a good one.
Yeah.
Our user fees going into next year.
Yeah, so a couple of items up for consideration for you tonight is when we review the user fees. These are all the fees that, are charged to whether it's residents or non-city residents to utilize shelters, use our boat launch, so on and so forth. I did attach it to the packet. The two main things that I am recommending we change for next increase the shelter reservation fee for city residents from $150 to $200. And then the other item open for discussion is the boat launch fee. So last year, the boat launch fee is tied to the Wisconsin DNR state park fees per the state statutes. Last year they did raise their park entry fees for the state. It just so happens they raised their park entry fees to the state again for 2026. So we have the ability, if we want, to raise the boat launch fees. So we did go from $8 for Wisconsin residents and $12 for non-Wisconsin residents up to, for 2025, it's now 10 and 15. The new state entries is 13 and 16. So we just changed it in 2025. Do we want to bump it again in 2026, or do we want to kind of just wait 3 years and bump it then? I have no recommendation one way or the other. So just kind of wanted to get your thoughts on that.
I'm ignorant as to what the going rate is in the neighborhood, if you will, with Kings and with Beanies and
Yeah,
and Afton.
Yeah, I don't know what it is over at Beanie's,
Today.
but that's the closest.
I don't think you can, I think you can leave the city this, if you wanted to, and then just raise the other one at 150%. It doesn't have to be both, right?
You have to, the out-of-state can be raised 150% of what the city rate is. So we would have to
What the
raise,
city rate
we'd have
is.
to raise the
Okay.
city rate in order to raise the
That's right.
out-of-state
I
rate.
wasn't sure on that.
You can't pick and choose one way or the other. Yeah, unfortunately.
It's still a good deal.
Right, because it's parking, and
It's still a really good deal.
launch, yeah.
So,
And we can, I'd kick this can again. I think we should give some thought to the ability to have several overnight parking spaces or some way to designate for the person who wants to come up. They launched in Hudson. They're either staying out on Beer Can or they're up on one of the islands or sandbars north of Stillwater, camping, what have you. Where do they leave their truck and trailer? You know, that, but we don't want people parking there overnight. You know. So
Yeah,
that's something we need to
look into.
look
How
into.
would
and
that
kinda
work
think
in the
of.
parking, in the system, for the pay? That's where you run into a glitch.
Right.
I mean, it
could you
could
make
be,
a separate zone?
Or
So,
maybe,
like, you're in that zone, but
yeah, you could.
an overnight area has a different number, so that's a
Well-
$35 charge or what have you?
Without an attendant, without a person down there monitoring the launch itself, especially on the weekends, the people aren't gonna pay any attention to whether that spot is for overnight or not. I mean, we got people parking
Yeah.
on yellow
Yeah,
curbs, on the
you're right.
grass. It's like, it's a free-for-all, so.
so maybe we're nice people and we assume that something went on in those people's life that they couldn't come back,
Sure.
you know? Who knows what it was, but most people don't leave their vehicle in their boat trailer somewhere
Right.
just for fun.
I know, as a boat and you're kind of in the boating community, the people that are spending the weekend out on the river are finding accommodations, whether it's at King's or they know somebody in the area where they'll go park their boat trailer at their place, or they go to another launch
Okay.
down the river. So, I mean, there's options out there for people that want to do that. I don't know if we want to accommodate that. It is challenging, to say the least, just because our launch is very, very popular on the
Right.
weekends.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
And we
True,
don't
and
get
it does
that many
keep
requests.
turnover, which is
Yeah.
what we're looking for.
yeah.
Yeah.
We don't get that many requests for that.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, we don't.
It's,
Some wheels are best left round.
yeah.
Well, I think it's very popular on the weekends, even very popular during the week.
Yeah.
So whatever we raise it to, or whatever we had it this year, obviously did not turn people away. We're not,
Right.
so I'm not to say our goal is to maximize that threshold where creating a pain to it. But I guess this is more of a question. I think that's one area in Hudson, in our parks, that probably has the most usage and wear and tear and maintenance, and the docks have to be moved, and we, when the water goes down, we've had issues.
Yeah.
So what's my question? My question is, are we recouping enough money as it is right now to maintain everything that we offer there?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's paying
Okay.
for itself, or
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be,
Can we-
based on kind of the rough revenue numbers, and we'll have the summary at the next meeting. We're over 80, I think we're over 80,000 in revenue for that launch. So, whereas we used to be between, when I first got here, under the old rate, we would be in between, 50 to 60, and that's all dependent upon the river too. It does help that we can stay open
yep.
Yeah,
for a majority of the season now, where before we were having to close down for a month, 2 months
Yeah.
at a
Didn't
time.
we close down though? this
Yeah, we didn't close down one time at all this year.
great.
And so where do those funds go?
Yeah, so it goes back to general operating,
Can we,
Parks.
can we siphon some
to
of
offset
that
the expenses in just the general park budget.
can we siphon some of that off for improvements that we know we want to make down there? Like anything to the bathroom or?
No, typically no. That's kind of speaking out of turn here. Maybe this is more for Sam, but the boat launch revenue goes, like I was telling Pam, back into the general operating for the parks budget to offset expenses for the year.
Yeah.
It's not dedicated. It's not like it's the mooring fund fees where a portion of that goes into the park trust fund, and it's kind of kept in there for improvements down in that area. The revenue from the boat launch helps support, just general operating expenses.
Helps all the park.
Yep.
Helps the whole city.
Yep.
Contributes. That's
Now, is
great.
this just for the paved one? What's the dirt
Yes.
road one? Is that a separate deal or what? You know what I'm talking about, the one by the dentist's office?
So that one is King's Landing.
Yeah.
So that's privately owned.
Oh,
Yeah, so that's not affiliated with the city, so it's a
It isn't?
privately owned boat launch. Yeah. Yep,
Okay.
Yep.
okay, and the same with the one on the end of Galahad, that's,
Correct.
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
private, Okay.
Yep, exactly.
That's
So this is
village.
just for the paved one down in Lakefront Park next to Buckeye Garage.
Yep. And there's a walk-up one that we could do a better job of maybe signage for at the end of Orange Street.
Yeah,
Yeah, the canoe.
You know,
The
where
canoe
we have
and kayak launch,
the
yeah.
kayaks or people with a small boat or what have you that
Yeah.
they can hand launch and park there.
Yeah.
yeah.
I see the paddle boarders
Are using that.
use that a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess the question just comes down to, obviously, we raised the rate last year. Do you want to raise it again this year? Or you just want to keep it as it is and wait for the following year and just, because it does, there's a little bit of legwork on our end as far as updating all the forms and have to go and reprogram the pay stations, to accept a higher fee. So there's a little bit of work, but nothing outrageous.
I
I
guess,
just don't know if it's public perception that you would not want to raise it at this time and wait.
well, they don't seem like very high fees to me, but I don't have a strong feeling that we have to raise them at this point. If we're really making, bringing in that kind of money, maybe we just wait another year.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well,
Quick question. Can we raise the season pass and keep the daily fee the same?
No.
I don't,
So many rules in this game that
Eh,
because I'd be more open to doing something like
Yeah,
that.
the season pass is 10 times the daily rate.
Okay.
It just seems that we've been consistently raising them according to the Wisconsin state statutes. So
Okay.
once you stop, it's going to be all of a sudden,
Yeah, it was
we have been.
Yeah.
talking about 6,000 grand.
Yeah.
Oh, so you
put it in
consistently
context,
have
about
raised it when they raised it?
6,600.
Oh,
it's just very rare that the state raises their entries.
okay.
Usually it's like a 5 to 10 year process for them to, and then
Right.
it's like back-to-back years. It's like, no. So,
Oh, well,
Well, as Mike knows for sure, the budget's extremely tight. Always is, always probably should be, right? With our property taxes, we're literally at our max that the state will allow us to tax. So then you look into what are the other things that we can do. We can't charge to get into our parks. You can't charge to get into the new splash pad. But this is a user fee that we're legally allowed to raise. So, but I'm with you. I don't.
And it's one that's used by the general public real heavily.
yeah.
Not
As opposed to
necessarily
just
our
people
residents.
in our zip code even.
Yeah.
so that's a good point, Mike, because, the Common Finance and Common Council voted to approve the operating budget for the 2026 fiscal year at last night's meeting. The revenue that was put in there for the boat launch assumed the current rates.
Okay.
Okay? So what could happen is maybe kind of to both your points, next year's budget cycle, if we're looking for some some revenue, how we can raise revenue, maybe this would be an option to raise the boat launch fee to balance maybe next year's budget if we run into some issues.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Do we have additional expense with the splash pad opening next year? What's the anticipated expense to operate that? Do we know?
Yeah, the water cost, I estimate, is gonna be about $6,000 for the summer.
Safe.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Yeah. It's a good one. I think that's gonna be heavily used.
Yeah.
So what impact is that gonna have on our pavilion there for rentals or usage?
I mean, the pavilion's rented Friday through Sunday the way it is. I mean,
Yeah,
it's,
no,
yeah,
so, yes, it's rented on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
yeah,
But people show up not knowing that it's rented, and what do you mean?
right.
I can't have,
Yeah, you know, we do post signage at the, and we've only run into a couple of instances since I've been here where we've had problems. People are fairly respectful
Yeah,
of
if
the
we let 'em
reservation.
know.
Yeah, yeah. And we do have the shade structures coming specifically for that splash pad, so hopefully people kind of congregate. We're gonna put out some picnic tables, maybe pour some pads out there, so, try to make that space over there, splash pad zone, you know.
you
and then
bet.
Yeah.
Try to separate them somehow, some way.
Well, and it's gonna be a magnet to all the kids in the park in general. And and so is everything else to the little ones who are just there for the splash pad.
Right, yeah.
So it'll help to give it some definition,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, maybe since we can do this, we should do it. I mean, it goes into the operating budget and ultimately we'll use it. So,
Yeah, that's how we'd pick up the money that we're gonna need. And, you know, back to the two-story, you know, do we try to hold our budget tight and say, look, we've kept all our fees, you know, for the last, how many years, we've held them steady, and everyone says, yay, and then when we do have to play catch-up, then it's like, holy cow, you guys are greedy. So there is something to be said to inch it up
Inch
as
it, yeah.
inflation comes, and, yeah, boating's a sport I love, but it's not cheap, and nobody should expect it to be.
And we
If you're gonna
just,
spend the day on the water, $12 instead of $10 is probably gonna be your cheapest expense.
Yeah.
You know, you can't get a 12-pack of pop for that anymore, so, yeah, maybe we keep up with the state, because obviously something's triggered with them, for that, so.
Yep.
Even though we don't love the concept, maybe it is a smart thing to do. So you were saying 13 and 18?
16.
16?
13 and 16? Because that'll allow us to season pass increase too?
Yeah.
And the season pass would go 130 and
160.
160, yeah.
so you want a motion to that effect, please?
Go ahead. No, I move that we raise the rates to 13 and 16 and the seasonal pass rates as well.
Second? Is there,
I'll second.
second?
What did
Any
you say,
further-
raise them to?
What the state will allow us to.
So 150% of
There's 10
13
and
is,
15 in the thing, and so we're saying 13 to 8.
so 150% of $13 is 19. $19.50 to be exact.
For the non.
For out of state.
Out of state.
So in theory, you could raise city rates to 13 and out of state to 19.50.
And we don't do coins anymore.
We don't
That's
do, it's all credit card.
Okay, so that.
It's all credit
so
card
the-
down there.
Okay, that doesn't, yeah.
You don't pay, yeah, it's all credit card down there, I think.
Everybody,
Well, do I need to amend the
Yeah,
motion?
I would amend the motion. That makes sense.
So amend the motion to change the rates to 13 for residents and 19.50 for non-residents. And then the seasonal passes will go up,
Accordingly.
yeah,
10 times the
10
daily
times,
rate.
10 times the daily rate.
I'll second that.
we're all clear on what we're voting on? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
What do you?
Anything else on your other user fees now?
Yeah, just
for
before we
the
move on,
audience?
what are your thoughts on the city resident increase for shelter rentals from 150 to 200? The only reason I do this is to recoup the staffing costs to get the shelters ready for the reservation. So obviously Deb has a lot of time into it as far as going through the reservations, making all the cards. We have staff that goes out every weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, post the reservations. And then prior to the use, we do go out there and we pressure wash the pavilions. We go back and we have to collect all the trash. So I mean, they're kind of, when I'm putting together all the staff time, even at $200, we're probably falling short of what it costs to get them ready for the reservations. But it's just a way, where we can recoup some of those funds for through those user fees to offset the staff costs.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware.
And the vandalism that takes place at places
Yep.
like Prospect and,
Yeah,
And-
any kind of, yeah.
down at the band shell and,
Yeah, and I did look at, River Falls and Richmond, and some of the nicer pavilions in River Falls are $225, $250. So I mean,
Yeah.
we would still be below that for a city resident, obviously. But like I said, it takes care of the staffing costs that it takes to get those pavilions ready for reservations.
just for clarity, Deb, do the Hudson residents have the month of January and February to,
No, they just come in.
just as it flows in now?
Flows in now.
Okay.
We can't control that. It's just way too hard. We can't.
Okay, that's good.
Most of them know that,
Yeah.
but it's just too hard to control.
But it fills up quick.
But you wanted to.
I would need a separate motion if you're okay with that, to increase that park reservation fee from 150 to 200 for city residents.
I'm okay with that. In fact, that's enlightening to know we're kind of catering an event, not just have a picnic table with a roof over it. I mean, the power washing, putting the signs up, making sure the garbage is, ready to roll.
Yep.
And again, just in today's day and age, for $200, I don't know where else you're gonna find something comparable. Your rationale for, suggesting to keep non-residents at 250, is that?
Open for discussion. I mean, I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying, this is the time where we can really get them, because we
Yeah.
also don't want to make it unattractive for people.
Right.
We follow the school district, so it's not like, so River Falls would be out of the city. City residence is pretty much Hudson addresses.
Oh,
And then
okay.
if they're in the school, just because we're kind of try to stay consistent with it, so it's
Yeah.
not specific to, like,
Yeah.
somebody who lives out in town of
Okay,
Hudson. So.
yeah.
And that has been really a good thing, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
So when you mentioned that the cost is over $200 to do that, do you have a ballpark on what it costs us for us to prepare
Yeah.
and clean up?
Yeah, so it's probably around, by the time you factor in Deb's time, the public works foreman, and then just the seasonal staff on the weekends, and then the full-time staff pressure wash. We have a couple, they take out the vac trailer that we were talking about last night. There's a pressure washer on there. It's probably closer to between $400 and $500 to get a shelter, ready for the reservation.
Thank you.
And I can tell you, they do a fabulous job. You don't hear people complaining about trash in their park or, same on the dike.
Yep.
But on the end, they really do a good job of picking up after people. It's too bad they have to the extent that they do. But,
Yeah.
they're down at the end of the dike checking on stuff,
Yeah.
hauling stuff out, cleaning it up. And it looks good again.
Yeah, because the pressure washing alone is 2 full-time staff at $100 an hour. It takes them about an hour to an hour and a half, so that's $200 right there, right off the rip, just to get it pressure washed and cleaned, so that kind of just gives you an idea.
Thank you.
Yep.
Is there a motion on the floor, Deb, or we need one?
No one has made one.
We'll need one if that's what you so choose. If not, then we'll just keep going the way we are.
Well, I think
You
we
want a
should.
motion?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess I'm okay, at some point, hearing all the expenses that go into it, it'd be great to say, well, let's charge them $1,000. That's getting carried away. And these are our residents whose property taxes,
Yeah.
what do we say, 80% of the people are city residents, so it's their park too.
Yeah.
And they should get some services for doing that. So I don't think there's an exact right or wrong. Real quick, the overlook weddings,
Yeah.
75, 120, those are staying the same. Do those require the same? I mean, do we clean the place up? I mean, there's people, there's parking, there's garbage. Is that low? Is that?
No, that's just for use of the point.
Okay.
It's to reserve the point. Some people have weddings, they just go up there and use the point without reserve. It's more of just like, we want to have it dedicated for our wedding. There's not a lot of prep work that goes into
Okay.
that, other than posting a sign.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's no power, there's no, there's nothing really.
Okay, that's true, yeah.
There's very few, I think we only had 2 weddings.
Yeah, it's very, very rare that we get them requests nowadays.
Gotcha.
or that we get called into it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, right. There could be
I know a
some
couple
that we
who
don't
got
know.
married up there, but, it's just their families.
I'll make the motion to go with the fees that are listed here.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Anybody have any other questions or about what it is you're voting on? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carried. That's it for your fees then?
Yep, go on sail,
Oh, you
yep,
need
go
us.
on sailboat moorings next.
Oh, yes.
So next item on the agenda is approve the 2026 sailboat mooring fee and sailboat mooring policy. So for the 2025 season, we had 6 openings. We had 6 people that left the mooring field. We had 8 new applications come in, so we were able to fill in once again, and had 2 that weren't able to get a spot. So still a popular thing, still people interested in sailing. The mooring field is full. Nothing has changed from the mooring policy. We updated that in 2020, and that seems to be going well. Deb does a lot of work with the moorers, so from what I understand, the policy is good as it stands. And then the fee itself was $575 in 2025, and I am not recommending any changes for 2026.
That's good. Yeah.
So I would need a motion and a second to approve the policy and fees for 2026.
I move that we keep it at 575.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Our outdoor rec plan.
Yeah, so in the issue sheet, I kind of gave some background on the outdoor rec plan. It expires at the end of 2025. Having said that, I did talk to Tiffany Weiss, the community planner, and they just completed the bike and ped master plan. And speaking with Aaron McPhee-Anderson, our city engineer, who's been applying for some of the grants for like pedestrian accommodations, off-street bike trails, some of the federal grants are requiring a bike and ped master plan to be included in a grander outdoor rec plan. And so my talking with Aaron and Tiffany, and my thought is to basically extend the current outdoor rec plan to 2027, which is when the bike and ped plan expires, and basically do a large scale community input at that time, incorporate the two together to have one master kind of outdoor rec plan that incorporates parks, trails, green spaces, so on and so forth. So that's my recommendation. It'd be easier on staff to do it that way instead of trying to get a bunch of community responses now and then going back to get a bunch of community responses 2 years from now. It's just, we could do it all, one encompassing. So basically what I'm looking for tonight then is to a motion just to extend the current outdoor rec plan through 2027, which would be revisited at that time.
I'll make the motion.
A second.
In a second. Any further discussion on anybody's part? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Thank you. It makes my life a little easier.
Yeah.
But then we will have a big kind of PR type community engagement activity
Yeah.
at that time.
Yeah.
So that'll be good.
And you're not starving for concepts or direction.
No.
Our parks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is providing what it needs to provide. We're
Yeah.
not cutting any corners, so I
No.
think it's a good move.
Yeah.
In our 10-year capital
So
plan.
will this be updated just to include like the Atwood Park, like, so that it's in there?
Yeah, I
for-
could, yeah. It's a,
just
it's a
like
living
page so
document.
That it's in there and
Yep.
just, okay.
Yep. So the 10-year capital improvement plan is obviously a part of the outdoor rec plan. And nothing that we have to really talk through super detailed tonight, but I did print out, I gave you this one sheet that lists all of the amenities that are in the outdoor rec plan right now as future improvements for each park, okay? And so based on, you know, kind of the detail that you see here, our task is to try to pick and choose some of these improvements and put it in the, you know, 10-year CIP, which is this large sheet here, right?
Right.
It's the next 10 years. So, having said that, after last night's discussion at finance and council, obviously, the council is very cognizant of the capital requests that are being requested for the next 2 years, along with the ones that are probably coming down the pipe over the next 5-10 years. So, I don't know if it's beneficial. Obviously, we did a bunch of tours this fall, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to try to take a stab at putting this together, or would you rather have me put it together and you make comments on it and make the small changes? Because obviously that are not on this list that need to be addressed. So, for example, in this year's CIP, we have just general updates at the Lakefront Park Beach House bathrooms. Partitions, toilets, got old, smell, they just need general cleaning, epoxy the floor, paint the walls, some of that stuff. So there are some restrooms that could use some of that upkeep. And that's just kind of maintaining what we have. That's not adding anything new. Where on this list, these are all new amenities. So I guess I'm open to however you want to do it. If you want to try to, you know, each one of you put one together and we'll come back and have a larger discussion at that, or I'm good either way.
Just my opinion, I think it's good that you steer it, because
Yeah.
you're balanced. I mean, there's a lot of cool things I'd like to pick and choose. But you're kind of tied to that city council budget thing
Yeah.
we were just talking about.
Yeah.
But you also kind of know maybe what, you know, what equipment is needed, or, you know, whatever. So I like your, this is just an idea. I know that decisions need to be made in open council like this, but between now and our next meeting, when you want, could you kind of prioritize, or give, you know, you do your outline?
Yeah.
Share your priorities with us, give us some time to digest, even, you know, the day before or whatever, so we can kind of digest that.
Yeah.
And then that way we can kind of do a little research,
Yes.
stop by if we want to, if we don't know what you're talking about. And then maybe next, we could take, you know, start with your guidance, ask questions based on some of the suggestions that we might have, and then we could hammer it out quickly. That way.
And
Is
give it a
that-
chance to see if we see anything that's
Okay.
glaringly missing.
I could almost do like a high priority
Yeah.
next 3 years, middle priority 3 to 5, or
Yep.
you know, 3 to 6, and then long term 7+.
Yeah.
You know, that type of thing. Okay.
That'd be good.
Yeah, I can do that.
I just have one question on what is already in here. When we did our site visits,
Yeah.
we talked about the playground area at Grandview really needing work.
Yeah.
But in this one, you put it off till 2030.
Yeah.
Is that, do you think it's going to survive that long? I mean, it looked like it was pretty,
So we had a parent group that came out and did a lot of work, painting. They replaced boards. The city did purchase some replacement nets and climbers, so on and so forth. So we did enough to get it by. That's one of those parks where I don't think I want to be here when we replace it. So if I can make it
then we
last.
better put it off way out.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to try everything that I have in my power to make it last as long as possible.
Okay,
But
all right.
when that does come, that is going to be a very, very large expenditure for the city.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great question, and some, like I said, some groups have stepped up to maintain it, and that's been a very, very helpful, and I appreciate that a lot. So, okay, well, I guess what I'll do then, I'll make that outline, and then maybe at next month's meeting, we can have a more detailed discussion on it, because I don't think planning commission happens in December, but
Okay.
Is that enough direction?
that's
for
enough
you?
direction for me. Yep, that's perfect. That's what I needed.
Update on our splash pad in White Camp.
Yeah. So I gave the update last night at the council meeting. We had water flowing through the system last week Friday. Yeah. I made the joke that I was out there in my swim trunks, but no, so yeah, that's great. Great news. There are a couple of just minor things that the contractor needs to adjust, and they did blow it out right away. So they trained our staff how to winterize it. And then that same company will come back in the spring to start it up again, make sure everything's running properly, and then it's ours. So, yeah, the only thing really left to do this fall is to seed the adjacent black dirt around it, get some erosion control matting on it, and then once the shade structures come in, we will install them probably in April or early May. And then our plan is to open up Memorial Day and have it open from Memorial Day to Labor Day.
Nice.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That'll
And
be heavily used.
And signage, yes, we'll be working on signage. That'll be coming forward to a park board meeting over the
Do
winter
some
months.
good PR around it.
Yeah, we should do a ribbon cutting and Pat
Yes.
with his Speedo on.
Yeah.
And you be the first one that splashes.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the update on the splash pad.
Okay.
Oh, and then I guess just for just one other project update is, staff is working on, winterizing the park system this week, taking advantage of the nice weather before it gets cold over the weekend. So all the restrooms now are shut down. We do have portable toilets out throughout our park system at those more heavily used areas. So, just to let the public know that the restrooms are now shut down for the 2025 season.
Excellent.
That's all I got.
And I left, for each of you, there was a packet that just is maps of the old Trestle Bridge area, Little Dam, Big Dam. And one of the interesting ones is the second one, when you start looking at the ownership, we already own it. It's already owned by the county, the village, the city, and the township in various configurations over the years. But now is probably one of the best times of the year to look at it, because you can see. You know, the leaves aren't on the trees, you can see down to the shoreline. So if you have an opportunity and are looking for something to do, drive down to Big Dam. And great bird watching right now, everything coming through.
Yeah.
Yeah, but take a look at that. I mean, we already own it. The county has flat out said they are not interested in selling any of their property. Since we own them as tenants in common, one doesn't want to, it doesn't matter what the others want.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Mr. Lenzen, Bruce Lenzen owns, and you'll see it on the maps, the old railroad right-of-way is that straight set of lines that go over the old bridge and all the way through, but
Yeah, up by the condominiums, right?
yes,
Yeah.
yep. And Bruce has, from the very beginning, wanted to hook his property and the bicycle pedestrian trail through there. He sees that as a very good amenity to, what he wants to do. And so what we're gonna try and set up is a joint meeting then between the North Hudson Park Board and us, and go through what has been taking place, where things are at, and bring everybody. And it'll be a great opportunity for our two different park boards to talk about things in general, because there's so much overlap with the boosters and with everything else, it's,
Right.
Okay.
I have nothing for any future agendas yet. Motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.